Horizon Gents, welcome to GBX, and this is Can Humanity Stop a Planet-Killing Asteroid? By channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. New Kurzgesagt video, and it's about space. My favorite thing. Can we stop... Now here's my knowledge so far, let's hope I'm wrong. Can we stop it? Yeah, we know how to stop it. What does that mean? We know how to get free energy as well, kinda. If we go to nuclear power, which has its own hurdle and nobody wants to do it. Oh, it's not feasible because nobody would do it. That's not what feasible means, right? We can do it. It will be a hit on a lot of geopolitics and a lot of our financial situation short term. In the long term, yeah, it's very easily doable. Right now, is it like a problematic when it comes to nuclear energy with maintenance and things? Yeah, but in 10 years, it will be much better. Look at electric things, electric cars. 10, 15 years ago, Tesla sucked. It was horrible. Look at it now, all the electric cars. But we don't want to do that. Same thing is here. Can we stop an asteroid? Yes, we can stop an asteroid. We have many ways to stop an asteroid. It's not by blowing up, by the way. That I don't even know what that means. When I was a kid, I watched the movie Armageddon. Even then, I knew enough about space. Like, what the fuck is this? Blowing up would not solve this issue. Just how the energy transfer works, kinetic energy. You just like made it into multiple pieces. Still gonna hit the earth. Like, what? So there's many ways, like painting the surface so like energy transfer can basically like move it to one side, right? There are many ways to do it. You have to like detect it long distance, but we know not city killers. Big asteroids that kill dinosaurs and things like that, we know how far away they are and we can track it somewhat. Maybe we can get really unlucky that it can hide because of certain like cosmic events, but chances are very low. So city killer asteroids, yeah, we can detect that shit. Like, but then again, most surface on the planet is not city. So chances of it hitting city is really slim, but it's there, by the way. So yeah, this becoming more and more cities are popping up. It's inevitable one day some small asteroid or whatever will hit a city and will be like, like Nagasaki type shit, right? All like meltdown type of way. Hiroshima and shit like that. So yeah, we can stop asteroid, but right now we don't have any technology like that. Right now, as we speak, if you're like, oh, but asteroid is coming, we have a few months, we are basically fucked at that point. Let's just evacuate. That's what we can do. But yeah, we can pour money into it. Globally, we can get together and like create some program like that. It seems unlikely, knowing how geopolitics is working right now. Everybody's at everybody's throat. But yeah, let's see if anything changed since my knowledge, right? Like my knowledge is like few years old. But then again, shit doesn't move that faster. So let's know if something else changed.
The PC game Starbirds is out now in early access. Find out more at the end of this video. Imagine, a stadium-sized asteroid is going to hit Earth in 2 weeks. Even at this moderate size, a fireball brighter than the sun tears through the atmosphere at 60 times the speed of sound, and the destructive power of 4,000 Hiroshima bombs flattens cities, killing millions. This isn't science fiction. Many killer asteroids were only spotted at the...
There are no planet-killing asteroids, by the way. There will be no asteroid that kills a planet. That shit is insane. But yeah, it's like species killing.
Last moment. In 2019, asteroid OK, as big as a 30-story building, was discovered just 1 day before it grazed Earth closer than some of our satellites. Last year, the even larger asteroid MK was spotted 13 days before it passed us closer than the Moon. If they'd have hit Earth, they would have unleashed the destructive power of 3,000 and 9,000 Hiroshima bombs. Stunningly enough, humanity doesn't really have a plan for this. Scientists have devised all kinds of tricks to push dangerous asteroids away, painting it so sunlight will deflect it, landing thrusters to steer it, scorching it with lasers, or even crashing spacecraft into it. But they all have a big problem.
Laser thing is also like painting in a way, like it's energy transfer that will just deflect it just enough, but you have to do it at very far distance. A laser pointing that far away, like I don't know, it's a thing of its own. Painting is the only thing we have. We have to send an actual spaceship and everything. But yeah, we don't have like any plan right now, but we know how to do it. That's what like what is the accuracy of that? It's like saying what was the accuracy of Apollo program? A lot of missiles blew up. It's a frontier, but we can do it.
The equivalent of trying to deflect a cargo ship by throwing a bag of potatoes at it. They do move the asteroid, but only by a tiny bit. With these methods, you need to act years or even decades in advance to make an asteroid miss the Earth. But very recently, scientists have developed a new, spectacular way to destroy killer asteroids that we could implement with today's technology. Let's see how this works with our 100-meter asteroid heading for Earth. The secret weakness of asteroids. For a long time, people imagined asteroids as being gigantic stones made of rock and metal. But it turns out most of them aren't like that. They're more like bags of loosely packed gravel.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. Like when I learned, I'm like, oh, that again kind of makes sense, but like I didn't know that. It kind of like, you know, like bulk of things that loosely, because of gravity, stuck together, right? There was a thing recently about asteroid. I'm like, oh, it's a big asteroid, and like I don't know who that was. It's like it's probably chunks of asteroid jammed together. Oumuamua was probably like that as well.
Heaps of pebbles, precious minerals, and dust barely held together, which means that instead of just nudging them, we can do something better: pulverize them. And the obvious choice is, of course, a nuke. So let's go. We load up a nuclear warhead, launch, aim at our deadly asteroid, and
you need nuke with such energy that, like he said, it would pulverize it. Like, okay, that would be like multiple Tsar bombas or something. I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
Oh, the asteroid destroyed the nuke. Asteroids can approach Earth at 70,000 kilometers an hour, enough to cross the Atlantic in 5 minutes. No bomb we've ever made could survive such an impact. So if we go for a head-on collision, the asteroid will wreck the nuke before it even has a chance to explode. Okay, easy. Let's explode the bomb before it touches the asteroid. Scientists have estimated the optimal distance, which for our 100-meter killer friend would be a few tens of meters above the surface. Launch, set the timer, and the explosion has made a dramatic crater and nothing else. Unfortunately, in space there's no air to carry a shockwave, so most of the explosion's energy is lost. The rock will still hit us in 2 weeks.
We can do how... what is it? Bunker buster way. Send multiple nukes. But first the small nukes with the distance apart that digs a hole inside. That doesn't hit an actual nuke. And in the end, the big thermonuclear bomb that has like power of, I don't know, 500 megatons, 10 times higher than the, Tsar bomb or something, depending on the asteroid. And then it explodes in the center of it. Again, that's a precision, like, but then again, like the first nuke would be have enough radius. They would have big enough hole that you can see the margin and like still hit the target well enough.
Only a few kilometers to the left. Striking such a behemoth with a nuke is like hitting our cargo ship with a washing machine instead of potatoes. Better, but still useless. Okay, let's go the movie route. Land someone on the asteroid, drill a hole, and bury a nuke inside to avoid all of these problems. And indeed, this is possible in theory, albeit suicidal in practice. Landing on any space body is a nightmare. Even on fairly big Mars, whose surface we know almost perfectly, roughly 70% of our attempts have failed. So imagine the chances of landing a crew and a nuclear bomb on a small and extremely fast asteroid discovered just 2 weeks in advance. Even if we succeeded, drilling in microgravity is painfully slow since there's no downward pull to help you. So we'd need an agonizing amount of time that we don't have. So
yeah, that's first of all it's suicidal, and like 2 weeks, how are you gonna get there before it reaches close enough to Earth? But then again, any nuke situation is like you need to atomize it. You need insane amount of energy that atomizes the entire asteroid, which is like there's a chance before it atomizes, like outward things would just push out, and still debris are still coming towards Earth. And even if it doesn't hit the Earth, it might become like a moon thing, where it circulates and it becomes a ring, eventually bombarding Earth anyway.
Sadly, that's not the answer. We have to think less like Hollywood and more like a lumberjack. The smart way. If you want to split a log, you don't hit it with a rock. You use an axe, a dense and perfectly shaped tool designed to break things apart. And just in the same way, scientists have found a new tool to destroy asteroids. Super dense, ultra-fast cosmic bullets. We won't even have to shoot them. Our cosmic bullets are called penetrators. A few meters long, slim and made of tungsten, a metal way denser and harder than rock. They work in an extremely...
Ooh, tungsten, one of the highest melting point. That's smart. But do we have tungsten at that level?
Simple way. You just put the penetrators in the way of the asteroid to float silently in space. From the perspective of the asteroid, you wouldn't see a few tiny bullets sitting still. You'd see them rushing at you at 70,000 kilometers an hour. It doesn't matter who stands still and who's fast. But this speed means that by far the longest part of this mission is to get to the asteroid in time. We can't destroy it too close to Earth because its
that's way too close to the Earth, but yeah, not to scale, makes sense.
Fragments will slam into the atmosphere all at once with the power of thousands of nuclear bombs. Our atmosphere can absorb isolated chunks, but if thousands of them strike together, their shock waves will add up and kill millions. So instead, we need to get it one day.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's all about E equals mc square. Yeah. It's all mass energy in the same thing. So whether it's a big chunk or multiple chunk with the same kinetic energy, it's going to blow shit up the equal way.
Before impact, when the asteroid will be nearly 2 million kilometers away, more than 4 times
Way too
further
far
than the
away.
Moon. A vast distance, but doable. Our current rockets can cover this in about a week. We'll just send one penetrator about 2 meters long and weighing 2.5 tons. Once our rocket arrives, it puts the penetrator in place to cause maximum damage, and then we wait. A tiny speck of light appears in the vast distance, and then suddenly it's here, shooting at us faster than the speed of sound. We'll slow down time to see exactly what happens. The asteroid crashes into the penetrator so fast,
You better put a GoPro or something there, man. I need to see that shit. Imagine that. Most watched clip. In the end of the day, it's not about survival, it's about getting the social media clip. There you go. I didn't know about this shit. This is awesome.
and with so much violence that the power of 120 metric tons of TNT is released into the asteroid. The rock vaporizes and the tungsten melts away, carving a wound that tunnels through the asteroid. The damage is too much, and with all of this energy looking
Isn't that a possibility? Okay, how? If it hits like that, this is still like direct hit, right? High speed collision, this is still that. Wouldn't the energy be strong enough that even if like tungsten doesn't melt right away, the energy is still high enough that it would split, like split and blow chunks out of the asteroid instantly? That still has the same kind of same trajectory, like I said. And even if it doesn't hit Earth, there's a chance that its kinetic energy is slowed down, so it basically get captured by the Earth's gravity. Earth's gravity is really strong. It goes beyond moon. That's how moon is in the orbit. So it might become this asteroid belt type of way, which bombards us anyway.
for a place to go, the asteroid is blasted into thousands of pieces. The debris spreads out into a diffuse cloud. A day later, the fragments hit Earth, dispersed over hundreds of thousands of square kilometers and turning an apocalypse into a mostly harmless show of cosmic
Yeah,
fireworks.
even if one or two is bigger and hit something, this happens. I guess species survived.
So if we prepare and get everything ready, spotting a killer asteroid with 2 weeks' notice would be enough. But this was just a small asteroid. What if we face a cosmic mountain, a planet killer carrying the destructive power of tens of thousands of nuclear arsenals? The non-avian dinosaurs would tell you about it, but they're dead.
So it was all this talk was about smaller one. We're still not facing the planet killer yet. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like at this point, it's like you have no option left. I would say fuck it. Like throw nukes at it. Whatever happens, happens. Because painting, I guess there you go. Paint it away. I don't know at that scale how you're gonna paint it. You're gonna send people to paint it. Like which is the mechanism? Is this gonna be accurate? Like I said, that bunker buster thing, right? Like 10, 15 fission bombs that digs a hole, big ass, like, I don't know, 1 giga, ton or something. Make that bomb if you can, which that in itself is an issue. It was a sundial bomb that we saw Kurzgesagt video on it. Like, that was a crazy shit. I think we can do it, but we have to put, research right now. That's the thing. People say, oh, no more bombs. What if we need bombs for cosmic risk, man? So, yeah, the bunker buster element and blowing up, I guess it would atomize most of it. Whatever is left might be thrown out. Maybe it will hurt, maybe it won't. But at least planet won't die. I don't know. That's what I think.
What if it is the planet killer? Planet killers are objects so vast and powerful that they would end most life on Earth in a single strike. The most dangerous ones are comets from the outer fringes of the solar system, so distant and dark that tracking them is impossible. Comets are dirty ice balls the size of mountains, more fragile than pure rock, but also much faster and violent, traveling at around 140,000 kilometers per hour. In 2020, the comet Neowise, with the power of 6,000 times all the nuclear bombs on Earth, was discovered just 4 months before its closest approach to Earth. What if we find such a beast 6 months before it's going to crash into us? Do we have a chance of surviving this? Unfortunately, this would be extremely hard for a bunch of reasons. First of all, our planet-killer comet has so much more mass than a tiny killer asteroid that simply breaking it into millions of pieces would not help us that much. The chunks that hit Earth would still be massive and numerous enough to set the sky ablaze and kill most life on Earth. So we need to make most, if not all of its fragments completely miss Earth. But to do that, we need to destroy it much further away, as far away as Mars. And to destroy a mountain, we need way more penetrators. Hundreds of thousands. And this is, well, a huge problem. To travel this far and to transport this much...
Yes, the problem is larger than that. We can't just get this shit. Logistical nightmare, that's what this is. One thing I've learned of anything after watching this, logistics is where humans have a problem with. People, like any country like America can flex, like, oh, we have logistic done, like, yeah, that's a flex in itself. Logistic is very hard. Why? Because people don't want to cooperate. People don't want to do a lot of things. And it's about time. Even if you, oh, fuck me, we are going to die. Oh, now it's just a week left. How are you going to do anything in that time? So it's mostly time-based as well.
Much payload, we need at least 24,000 super heavy rockets. As of today, humanity has 2. And they're not really finished yet. Even if all the industries in the world do nothing but switch to building rockets, we wouldn't finish in time. If we actually discovered a planet killer today, there's literally nothing we could do about it. Except maybe if we combine penetrators with a bit of Hollywood and our old friend the nuclear bomb, there is still a way. For this plan to work, we basically need to have all the parts ready beforehand. A rocket like NASA's SLS, the one planned to take astronauts to the moon, loaded up with everything we need, ready to launch. As soon as the planet killer is spotted on its way to wipe us out, we launch a single rocket to meet it. For 5 long months, it travels through the nothingness of space as life on Earth nervously continues. Finally, it reaches its destination a bit beyond the orbit of Mars. Now, we deploy 5 massive penetrators in sequence, one perfectly lined up 2 kilometers after the other. The engineering challenge of aligning and timing this correctly is horrendous, and...
Yeah, you remember watching that, did you watch that TV show called 3 Body Problem? It had that, like they had this, like was a nuclear bomb as propellers. But the trajectory just fucked up enough that it just shot out something completely different. Even 2-3 centimeters of like error, which is like nothing when it comes to like rockets and these rods, can fuck up the trajectory. They might not hit the, like asteroid. Maybe 1 or 2 would hit, everything else would deflect away. Precision we required for this is insane. I feel like we can do it. There are engineering things that we can precisely, like where it's like micrometer or even nanometer precision. But again, like how many of that exist in the planet? Can we, like, as a humanity, people just have to do like, fuck it, we're doing this, I don't care what. Maybe we can do it.
We only have 1 attempt. So a few very brave astronauts go on this one-way trip to supervise the process with no way home. Nervous hours pass as all of humanity watches the skies and screens. And then the moment comes. The icy mountain of death appears in full, and then it's all...
Look, man, you have founding fathers in your note. You immortalize them on the mountains. India, there is Gandhi on the note. Everything they've done would pale in comparison if there are few people who went to the mission, tried to save the planet and actually did. Whoever these people would be, 2-3 people who gave their life, would be insanely immortalized, which would dwarf everyone. Any great man, women, whatever, like their name would be dwarfed by these people. There would be a history in the making at the level that we can't comprehend.
Already here. Slow down time again. The comet smashes into the first penetrator at 140,000 kilometers an hour, unleashing the power of 2,000 tons.
See, there you go. I said that, like bunker buster style. That is what this is, right? One after another will dig, and last one would be bomb, I'm gonna guess, because that's the only thing that makes sense.
Of TNT. Ice, rock, and tungsten liquefy in an instant as the energy of the impact eats itself dozens of meters deep into the mountain. Here's the second one, perfectly hitting the same spot, punching directly into the crater, smashing, melting, drilling. The third and fourth penetrators repeat the process again, now smashing a tunnel about 100 meters deep.
Is there going to be
But
bomb
this
in the
time,
end?
this is just a scratch on the surface of the monster. The comet is not really damaged yet. And then comes the final penetrator and its toxic load. 300 megatons in nuclear warheads, 20,000 times more energy than the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima.
Yeah, it's not much. Like, I don't know why you keep bringing Hiroshima up against, like, probably that's the one we bomb, but we have the biggest bomb we can think of, which is Tsar Bomba. So this is 6 times of that. That was 50 megatons. It was supposed to be 100, but it was 50. That's one of the things, like, we assume it's going to be something, but then again, not all things detonate. So this would be around 300 megatons. I guess, is that enough? Is 300 megaton enough? Because when Tsar Bomba was exploded, it didn't do that much, but it still like blew up windows in Norway and God knows what was very far away. So this is 6 times as hard. But is it big enough to blow the asteroid up? I don't know.
It travels deep into the tunnel, and just before it hits the end, it explodes. This time, the nuke works. Instead of hitting nothing in the vacuum, the energy of the explosion smashes into rock and gravel and ice. On top of vaporizing it from the inside, there's so much shock and push and punch that a frozen world billions of years old dies from within.
There is no shockwave in space, because space is not really a thing. It's a thing, but it's in a thing, right? In a way, it's a thing, but not really a matter way thing, right? It's space. That's like quantum talk. Let's not talk about right now. Only reason there is no, like waves in space, because there's no medium to have a wave. But if you blow up a nuke inside the rock itself is a medium, so there would be a shock wave, right? You would start to destroy with the shock wave from inside.
Into a cloud of millions of fragments spreading in all directions. Humanity is saved. To make this happen in reality would take unprecedented planning and precision, and yet it's possible. Not in a century with sci-fi technology, just with the rockets, engineering and knowledge we already have today.
There you go. Yeah, Paul, go to original video page and from there support this channel. What an awesome episode. I got that right from the start, by the way. I didn't watch this before anybody said pre-watched, like, but this is just common sense for me. Like, I know this shit, right? I know space, right? If you're watching my video for now. So yeah, bunker busting, the only thing that makes sense, because blowing the nuke far away doesn't do anything. Blowing it on the surface, like, yeah, kinda, but like that's like you're not transferring energy well, right? You just one direct energy, everything else is just getting dissipated. So you need to blow from inside to actually work. It just makes sense. But would this work? Is 300 megaton enough for like a planet-killing asteroid? I don't know, man. I think like then again, Kurzgesagt are the people who like do math on it. I don't know about 300 megaton. I think you need much bigger than that, because there will be enough chunks left. Like I said, it would create this kind of like a, like a belt around the planet, even if it's really far away. Like imagine, how far away Moon is from Earth. Earth is still holding on to that by gravity. Even if like asteroid creates a belt around Moon or even slightly far away, there's a chance like how asteroid belt near Mars is still bombarding shit everywhere, right? Jupiter is eating up a lot of it, but like it would be asteroid belt of its own, which is not stable because it's just made like that, right? So there will be a lot of bombardment happening at the Moon, and now we can just expect bombardment happening, right? I don't know if that would be enough to like fuck up things, but I feel like it would have enough destruction. It's like nuclear bombs going, like small nuclear bombs going everywhere. I think the chunks would be enough to do that. So I don't know about this, man. You need much bigger bomb. You need to atomize the most of the asteroid. You need in gigatons if you can do it. And I feel like we can do it 20, 30 gigaton or some shit like that, right? Like a sundial bomb type of thing. But we need to research this shit. Right, well, that was Can Humanity Stop a Planet-Killing Asteroid? By Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. If you like my reason, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.